Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Modded Adventures. Let me tell you a story. It all started not too long ago. I was roaming the streets of my farming village and was wondering, what am I gonna do for the next episode? But then I realized, I'm not gonna do anything. Yep, that's right. I decided I'm just gonna put off the next episode. But then I had a really good idea. I was gonna go fishing. But then, disaster struck. Wait a minute. I don't have a fishing dock. I can't fish without a fishing dock. Guess I actually have to build one myself. No! Well, I guess we better start building. Step number 1, resource gathering. If there's one thing I've learned while playing Minecraft, it's that you can't build without materials. And this fishing dock is no exception. So I went over to our industrial tree farm and I got to chopping some trees. Manually. I'm thinking oak wood is going to be our main material. But you can't just build with all one block, so time for accent blocks. If there's one resource in this mod pack that I absolutely dread getting, it's deep slate. It spawns so little at the bottom of the world, it's just a pain to get. But unfortunately for me, that was my accent block of choice. But thankfully, we did actually have some. I'm also thinking about using some of these flint blocks, as they look pretty cool. Step number 2, actually building the thing. I did make a little bit of progress here, but I don't like it, so I'm tearing this whole thing down. And just like that, this place is already looking pretty good, but we can do better. Boom, just like that, this is looking actually really cool. Or at least much better than it used to be. Now, the eagle-eyed among you may realize I haven't even started making the dock. And yeah, you have a point, I haven't, but to be fair, step number 2 was to build, not to build the dock specifically. Step number 3, build the dock specifically. And we are off to building. I thought that this time, instead of, either going through the creative process or, just jump cutting, I would do a montage. I got stuff I want to talk about, but it doesn't really, fit anywhere else besides a voiceover commentary. So that's what we're doing for this building montage. A couple clips ago where I mentioned that deep slate is such a pain to get in this world because it's so, sparse and stuff? Well, that got me thinking. We're still on 1.16. What's it been, like 5 updates and like 4 years since this update released? We are so behind on Minecraft features. In terms of update amounts, that's like having a 1.12 modded world in 1.17, which is crazy to think about because my entire time playing Minecraft, 1.12 modded series they always seemed really outdated. And yeah, that's due to like Minecraft improving and stuff, but also there's just some mods that don't get updated, either because they skip some versions or Minecraft adds those features, like in the case of like bamboo and stuff, or they just stop development. Either way, it's sometimes not possible to get a similar or better experience with the same mods in newer versions. But all this did get me thinking, what if we did update this world to 1.18? To be fair, I haven't really delved into most of the mods here, so if some of them were incompatible and like didn't exist, I wouldn't probably notice it. The only downside to this is that I'd probably have to by hand transplant this world into another, which is possible. It just requires a lot of work because I have to build everything all over again. But I mean, it's not a terrible idea. For Just Create in general, there's been several updates. I think there's like electricity now. And I know they added like rail stuff in like 1.18 or something, I think, which if I'm remembering correctly, was out for I think about a year going into making this series, or at least it had been released. So it's kind of unfortunate that though I'm playing those mods, I'm missing out on full features. Alternatively, I could just completely restart modded. I'm probably not gonna do that. If anything, I start a side series. I'm probably not gonna do that. If anything, I'll probably make like a side series if 1.16 modded gets boring. The mod that comes to mind is, of course, Vault Hunters, like I think I mentioned at the end of last video. I've been playing it so often, I could probably make something out of it. I don't know, we'll see. We'll probably keep with this world for at least a little while longer, you know? And there you have it, the dock is complete, but I have a little bit of bad news. It might not actually be a dock. It's something. This is definitely what I was thinking of when I was thinking of a dock, but I don't think it's actually I think docks have to go out in the water, but there's not really much room for that. So if we do some terraforming, I don't know. Since I didn't go through the creative building process of this dock type thing, I don't know what it's actually. I'm going to call it a dock just for consistency. Because I didn't go over the creative process, I'm going to do that now. And hopefully it still makes sense. Stuff might not be in order, but that does not matter. So, of course, we have this staircase downwards. You already saw that, of course. But the dock was supposed to go this way, and at first I wasn't quite sure what I would do because this is all still very much on land. Again, maybe we change that, but probably not today. But yeah, this staircase goes down here onto the actual place where I can, I guess, fish. I don't have my fishing rod. I think I let it despawn. But yeah, and over here you have another staircase, and where does it go? It goes up onto the road right here. So I wasn't quite sure if I was going to actually connect it, but it did work out pretty well. It just connects right up through here, and this is centered on the house. At first it wasn't, but I did fix this staircase to actually make it centered. So I might put something here. I don't know, actually. And you also may have noticed that there is a road that goes right here, and that will eventually connect up to the bridge over to the industrial area. It looks a lot thinner than it's supposed to, because the leaves are here, because I'm not a huge fan of how that looks, like covered up with leaves. But overall, I think it looks fine. It lines up pretty well, and this, this road isn't, all that much wider, so I think it works pretty well. Now looking over at the railing, this is kind of just basic railing that I usually do. I don't really know how to spice up railing exactly, but it's here, and it looks pretty good, especially from a distance. I think it looks good. But what also looks good from a distance is the, whatever it's called, the underside bits, the vertical slabs. Yeah, you'll see that vertical slabs, pretty cool. And at first it was recessed a full block, but the shadows just didn't look right. I think the windmill would look a lot better if it didn't have so many shadows on it. It looking good, I don't know if that's possible, but I think it'd look better without all the darkness. But that's not something we're going to fix today. That seems like a much in the future me problem. And then I didn't really know what to do with this bit of terrain. I know I wanted it there, because there has to be some sort of transition between there, and I did not want to extend the house downward. So I just, encased this in with a little trim, and I think it looks decent. I do have one main criticism with this whole thing. It's that there's not enough modded blocks. You can build this pretty much in its entirety in vanilla. The only thing you'd really have to change is changing these half slabs to walls, and it gives pretty much the same effect. Walking through the streets, I think it's clear to see that all the less important stuff, like animal pens and like roads, are pretty much all made out of vanilla blocks, but once it gets to like the blacksmith, whatever this building is, and the farmhouse, then you get to see a little more of mod blocks. There's still a lot of vanilla blocks, specifically oak wood, but you know, there's that what's it, like sandstone, smooth arid sandstone, yep, and the terracotta shingles. But then as we get over to the industrial village, pretty much everything is made out of modded blocks. In modern versions, the only things that would survive are the bamboo planks and deep slate. I think the only structure I have that's built out of non-modded blocks is the nether portal. I don't think there's a single modded block in here besides like maybe some slab upgrades, like vertical slabs or something, but even then, I don't think there's any of those here at all. But then again, I might be wrong. It's been a while since I built that. The roof might have some modded blocks. I completely forget. But if there's one thing I want to make sure in most of my builds is that there's at least some modded element. And there is, besides the vertical slabs. These maple leaves. These are not in the vanilla game. We got pretty much every other type of leaf in the vanilla game, but we don't have maple leaves. So that is the modded contribution to this episode. Was it mostly because I was out of oak leaves? Yes, it was, but they are still here. Yes, but, you know, they are still here. So yeah, I am pretty satisfied on how this build turned out. So yeah, I am pretty satisfied on how this build turned out, but there's one true test to see if it's a good fishing dock. That's actually going fishing. It takes a little while for the bobber to go down, it looks like. Okay, now let's watch. Okay, now let's watch. When are we gonna get a bite? When are we gonna get a bite? Come on. Come on. Oh, this is so exhilarating. Oh, this is so fun. Oh, this is so cool. Come on. Maybe I should have enchanted it. Oh, look, we got a big one. We got a brown trout. Maybe we try again. Maybe we try again. Maybe that was unlucky. You know, maybe that was just unlucky. Come on. Come on. Come on. Just waiting for it to go. I'm gonna leave this uncut just so you can see how boring fishing is sometimes. Come on. Why are you taking so long? Okay, if it doesn't pop up in 10 seconds, I am enchanting this thing. Oh, there it is. Ooh. Minnow. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go again. We're gonna go until we get something cool. Getting something cool. Might take a while. It might take a while, but... And we got a bluegill. Okay. Ooh. Ooh! I got a real fish! Evidently all those other ones didn't count as a fish. It's always nice getting fishy business, like, years later than you should, you know. Okay, what'd we get this time? We got a flatback sucker. Huh. Well, on that note, I think it's about time that we end the video. We had lots of fun, and in the end, I accidentally made a video. Oh no! Guess my strategy to avoid making a video this week didn't work out as planned. But hey, maybe that's for the better, because I had a pretty good time, and I hope you did too. If you got a comment or feedback, be sure to let me know, and you might become the next comment of the day. You might be put up on that wall right there, immortalized forever. Either way, thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great week. Bye-bye.